everybody. This is a little off the cuff. I'm Janet Pearson. I'm the head of the festival. But I didn't actually do the intro, and I assumed we were having a Q&A, but actually, Ben, Alex, Brewer, are you in the house? Come on, man. Usually we work out this business beforehand. And then, so we can take, I'll start it off, but see these two mics in the aisles? These are for audience questions. You're welcome to line up, and we have a few minutes to take some questions. Hey, congratulations, come on out. We're meeting for the first time here.
Is Elijah here? Where's Elijah? No?
Is Elijah here to join us as well?
There he is.
All right, please do.
Oh, I didn't want you to come up. I just wondered if you were here.
No, please. How much fun was that? Hey, that's the little proper, well, you know, thank you and welcome and.
Well, thank you. I mean, big thanks to South by Southwest. This has just been an incredible festival and a great experience. So, and you know, seeing it projected.
Use a mic closer to your. No, it just closer.
Hello.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. So what did everyone miss? Yeah, thank you to South by Southwest. This has been phenomenal. Yeah, and I mean, it was so great. Thank you to the Paramount Theater. I mean, it's just been it was so cool to watch it like that. And yeah, this festival's incredible. Like, it's just really refreshing, beautiful experience. Before we start the Q&A, could we just give a shout to, we have a lot of people who worked on the film in the audience. If everyone involved in the film could just stand up for a moment and...
Hey guys.
This is the, I apologize in advance for this question, but we're meeting for the first time, and like, you don't look old enough to have made this film. but I'm glad you did, but really, can you so talk about how you made it? It's great.
Well, we're older now. How we put it together is we wrote a script. Nick was the first person that got involved. He really took to it, and we kind of connected on, you know, just taste in film and so forth. And then Elijah liked it and responded to it, and it was so fast with his jumping on board, and it was
a few days after I read the script.
Yeah.
Well, and it's interesting. Because you have the quality of the two actors you have, which is, you know, they were amazing. How hard was it to get to them?
Well, if memory serves, I don't remember. Well, Braxton had. So we've been collaborating on music videos usually, and Braxton Pope, who produced a number of our music videos, got the script to Nick. Yeah.
Braxton.
All right.
So thank you, Braxton. Who got you the script?
My agent just sent it to me.
Oh. So that's like classic, yeah.
Yeah, classic. He was like, "This is good," and I read it, and then I met you a day later, I think.
Yeah. And how fun for you.
Pretty classic.
You know, it's funny, when something looks fun to watch, there's never a sense of how much fun it is to make or not. That's a question as outsiders we all have.
This was super fun to make. I mean, I got to work opposite that man. This is a dream come true for me. I've been such a huge fan of his work for so long, been a long admirer. Honestly, it was half of why I wanted to be a part of this, so that I could have that experience, and it is something I will cherish for the rest of my life. It was incredible. Every day I got to see that. I have these out-of-body experiences constantly. Like even week 4, you'd think I'd get into a groove and be totally comfortable, but I'd keep looking at him and mid-scene be like, fuck, that's Nick Cage. So crazy. The way he just said that was so Nick Cage. It was really, really special. Really special.
There's something that feels quintessentially Cage about it, you know, about his role in this, and so yes. Anybody any questions from the audience? Just line up at the mics.
You jumped out enthusiastically.
Yes. Hi. I loved it.
Thank you.
I was wondering if you could. Yeah, you're welcome. If you could clarify I felt like the end of the film was very symbolic of the overall message that you were trying to get across. I was wondering if you could clarify what it was for me,
Well, I think we, there's a sentiment that crime doesn't pay.
Yes.
Like it's actually kind of an important message to leave people. You can watch people commit crimes and do all kinds of bad things, but you kind of want the sort of philosophy of it to support that. And I think in this case, it felt really important because we were showing a depiction of police corruption, and so we wanted to make sure that, you know, they met their just ends, you know.
The hand of fate coming down at the end.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Yeah, even though he was only in the movie briefly, Jerry Lewis is kind of notoriously hard to work with.
Oh, that's
You guys-
Mr. Lewis. Yeah.
Did you find that to be true, or is that just completely
He called
false?
us both little shits. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
I got it first, and then later you were like, he just called me a little
Call
shit.
me a little shit, yeah.
Affectionately.
I was just going to say, was that like a point of pride, or did it make you feel terrible?
Absolutely.
Because we are little shits. Like,
Especially compared to him. No, he's great. He's really lovely. He, in between shots, he would tell jokes and stories. And he gave you the book on filmmaking that he wrote,
Yes.
and I think he signed it for you, which is
yeah,
Pretty
it's
incredible.
like a, you know.
I mean, at the end of the day, he was very respectful to the two of us as directors. You know, he loves filmmaking, directing, and also his philosophy about how a set should be run, about how you should be kind to your crew, be kind to your actors, be thankful for all the work that they're giving to you. And so he kind of, you know, he definitely brought that positivity with him on the set.
He thought the set was too dark. Like
Yeah.
when he came to set, the moodiness of the lighting, and he just went, "What kind of a movie are we making?" It was very suggestive way. It was
But later
great.
on, he also commented that, like, oh, well, you know, a dim set,
Yeah.
you gotta be careful with the morale of your crew, because psychologically, you know, it makes you more tired, and he just, so I mean, that's where he's coming from.
Yeah, his jokes
thinking
always
about the crew.
Yeah, his jokes always had like a kernel of great advice. So yeah.
Well, it's interesting. How did you get him involved?
Nick is a huge fan, and
Yeah, he said he always wanted to have Jerry play his father in a film, and we're glad we're happy we could make that dream come true.
Very special.
Thank you.
Yes.
Hi guys, I really enjoyed the movie.
Thanks.
Big part that I enjoyed is all the humor that's, you know, all through the film. But at a certain point it kind of shifts in the tone and the humor dials down. How much debates did you guys have about should we pepper some more in, or at that point was it clear that you needed to?
I think that you know, one thing that I'd like to say is that you know, it's easy for us to like stand here and be like the people who wrote and directed it, but really this movie exists because Elijah and Nick wanted to make a movie with first-time guys, and so I think, you know, that says something about someone's character. I know you're standing right here, but it's okay. And so I think we thought, we were worried about that, and then we thought, we have these two incredible actors. They want to make this movie with us. They're going to be able to negotiate their arcs through that. And yeah, I think if we had you know, a lesser force there, I think we would have probably thought really hard about it. But you know, we were lucky because that's what we want out of movies. Like, we're really compelled by humor that attaches you to someone, and then you watch the part of their life that's harder. But again, it's very hard to get over that hump unless you have Elijah Wood in your movie.
Well, actually, Elijah, how does that in terms of your decision making? I mean, one would assume you have a lot of choices, and every time you decide to make a movie, it's a time, and I mean, there's so much that goes into it. So how does the decision work for you when it is first-time filmmakers? I mean, I know you already like the script, but then you have
Sure.
to think about that as well, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, the filmmaker that you're working with is probably the greatest consideration, whether first time or not. But having read the script and then I met with him literally days later, and I had so many questions. I'm such a nerd. I was like, what lenses are you going to use? Who's your DP? Where are we going to shoot? And every single answer that they had was so clear and so well thought out. They had such a strong vision for what they were going to make, and it elevated what I'd just read a few days prior to something that was genuinely something that I wanted to be a part of. And so it was so clear that I had no concern. about it. You know, they were very able, and you know, I think half of being a great director is just knowing what you want. And they knew what they want, and they surrounded themselves with incredible, talented people that facilitated the whole creative team. So.
Yeah, what about the rest of the team in terms of how you put it together?
Well, a lot of...
I'm sorry, I didn't, no homework, so this is all like genuine interest and genuine questions.
Well, we used a lot of Vegas locals, and yeah, it was just it was a phenomenal crew. Like, everyone was very tight. We got to be like a family by the end of it, and yeah, everyone worked really hard. And, you know, coming to set was a joy.
A quick shout out to Sean Porter and Scott Cuzio. Yeah. Scott Cuzio is a production designer who incredibly talented guy. And you know, he really made a lot of things possible that seemed impossible.
Absolutely.
And then Sean Porter is an incredibly gifted DP who is a storyteller through and through. He thinks
a true collaborator.
Yeah, we've been talking about trying to get him here for years to talk to us. I mean, to talk to
he's exceptional.
At the conference.
Yeah. Great guy too, and that's, you know, and that means a lot when you're a DP, because that's a stressful job where you can become a jerk if you're not careful, because so much is on you. And he is just the best guy. So yeah.
And a great support for you guys too.
Oh yeah.
Amazing.
Yes.
Hi, I'm Philip Miller, and I just have to say, great movie. And kind of surprised me, you know, but really good. Elijah did a great job, and I think you and Nicholas had a really good chemistry going on, the balance and the struggles that you're dealing with. My question, you kind of touched about this earlier, but I mean, you're like first time, I mean, really hit it. You had a lot of chemistry, a lot of things light up, you had the right ingredients, you had a good script, you had amazing talent in acting. But do you see more things like that happening? And do you have any like suggestions on how filmmakers can do it in exactly what you did? Because I see a lot of times, you know, here at South by Southwest, it supports the younger community trying to make it through, and great films happen that way. And usually you have to go through agents and, you know, do all of that. Do you see some other medium or connection that you can make with amazing acting talent, or whether it's editors or producers, rather than going the traditional routes?
Well, our personal backstory is that we did music videos for like 5 years, and to do music videos is very hard to make that your job. So we basically lived in LA, share a car, eat cereal for 3 years. Like, you know, we just kind of roughed it, and it's still really hard. And from that music video work, we were able to deliver a visual material with the script. And then also we made a visual presentation in the form of like a treatment. So it's this fully photoshopped, tons of reference images. It's like, it almost looks like reading a magazine or something.
That was a companion to your script that you said?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And so you're just delivering these elements so that people can really see what you're trying to do.
The visuals are very important, we've found. It's always been very successful for us.
Help to articulate your vision.
Yeah. And so I think if I could give a piece of advice, be everything. We do our own special effects, own color correction. I designed the opening title sequence of the movie. We color corrected the trailer that got released, because you know, there isn't anything that we didn't attempt to make part of what we do. And so that makes it so that you don't need a bunch of other people to get a good, interesting reel together. And you had seen some of our visual work, and so I wager that if you had not seen that visual work, you know, like music videos, whatnot, it would have been maybe a harder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that certainly helps.
Yeah.
You know, having the visual reference and you know, the little sort of PDF that you came up with in regards to the sort of vision for the film, that kind of thing really helps as well.
I mean, there's no excuse for making great stuff anymore, because it's just all the technology. It's just hard work, you know. And
it's true. I mean, you know, our path was sort of, you know, just trying to make each job as trying to execute each thing as well as we could, make it look more expensive than it actually was, and each job was sort of bigger than the last, and so we kind of like moved up that music video ladder, and then eventually made connections.
Also, we're also kind of dancing around. Allie Brown, who's our executive producer, is at Pretty Bird, which is where we do our commercials and music videos. She brought us into this world. So you need people to believe in you, but you also just got to work really hard. So yeah, hi Allie.
Yeah. Thank you.
And this is just the beginning. I mean, this was a world premiere, yes, and
Yeah.
and so this is just starting. You're the first audience to see this film, and so its life is undetermined, yes, or do we, or do you?
It's like putting a kid on the school, your child on the school bus for the first time. It really is.
And now it's a question of whether or not we'll be home when they come back from school.
True.
Or if we'll just be like, what kid?
Well, so if you liked it, talk about it. Make a lot of noise. Last question. Go ahead.
Hey guys, really awesome work. Really appreciated it. I'm just curious, as you guys are brothers. Cool. I'm just kind of curious how your collaboration works. You know, I have a brother I'd make media with as well, and between writing and directing together, I'm just kind of curious how that goes down for you guys.
Well, it's extremely helpful to work in a duo because so much of directing and filmmaking is about communication. So when you have an idea, before you put it on the page, you immediately have to pitch it to someone else and communicate it and make sure it's clear and get their feedback. So, you know, during the writing process, during the planning process, we're just constantly moving back and forth between each other.
Saying the dialogue out loud.
Yeah.
Doing impressions of Elijah Wood and Nicolas Cage to each other. No, just kidding.
Well, let's see. That would be awesome.
What is it like working with two guys?
two
Trying to
dudes?
direct you, yeah. Two dudes.
I think I was saying this earlier. I think that you both offer there's a great balance. I don't think one does more than the other in terms of communicating with the cast or with the crew. I feel like it's, you know, an even sort of vibe in regards to what you contribute. But I also felt like great directors, half of it is also being open, and you guys are extremely open to hearing ideas. So that was what was really special about the working environment, is how creative it was, how much Sean was involved. It really felt like there was this sort of creative force between us, Nick, and Sean and the crew, that we're all we knew where we were all headed together, and you were very open to that. And I think that's like half of what being a director is.
Is one of you more the director and one more the writer, or are you guys kind of fluid?
I wouldn't have said that.
No, we really share it. I'm louder, so it's true. I'm louder and I'm not as nice. Alex
You're
is
nice, Ben.
Alex is smarter and nicer.
Well said.
There you go.
Well, thank you. We loved being able to premiere
you.
this film. It was
thank
great
you
fun
so
for
much,
us.
Janet.
We wish you well with it.
Thank you,
So,
Janet. Thank you.
Nice to meet you.